We're now joined by Matt Kenseth, driver of the number 20 Dollar General Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. Matt, there's been a lot of talk lately about the great racing this season. So now that we're at the midway point, can you just talk a little bit about that and your outlook for the second half of the year?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard for me to judge the racing all the time as a race fan because I'm in there, and I think the great racing are the ones that I'm up front and I win. But the racing has been good. There's been some really good finishes this year. It's been fun to be part of it. I just wish I was in the mix a little more often. But yeah, it's been good racing. It's been fun so far.
Okay, we'll open it up for questions for Matt. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a microphone to you. We'll start back here and then go up to Jerry and then Tucker.
And Spencer, WHAS 11. Matt, you know, you've been here over several years. They always used to dub this the roughest track on the circuit. Now with the repave, how much different is it?
I'd say it's the roughest repave on the circuit. They didn't get rid of all the bumps, that's for sure. But it's a lot different. It was really unique before with all the bumps and the seams that were getting wider and all that stuff. So it's definitely a lot different than what it was. It's kind of a typical repave. You know, there is some bumps, but it's pretty typical. So I thought the truck race they were able to get outside just a little bit, but I think they're on a little softer tires. So hopefully the track will widen out just a tick. Hopefully tonight and for tomorrow night.
Go to Jerry.
Gordon Performance Racing Network and Kicking the Tires. From a fan perspective, from a driver's perspective, is there too much thing as too little downforce? And some were saying that about Michigan, but with this new package going into 2017, have you thought about how far NASCAR should go with this?
No. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where the line is, what's too much, what's too little. It all depends upon, what you're really trying to accomplish. So, me being a driver, I concentrate on, what's best for us and the 20 team and what we can make work the best and all that kind of stuff. So I don't think drivers necessarily give unbiased opinions necessarily when it comes to rules packages and things like that. So I really think that you kind of got to watch the racing and let NASCAR media fans, everybody that's watching the product and enjoying it, kind of judge is the racing overall better, more exciting, trying to accomplish the things, whatever it is they're trying to accomplish, or isn't it? So I think the racing this year has been pretty good. There's been some pretty good finishes, even without cautions right at the end and stuff like that. There's been some real close finishes, and the racing's been good. So it seems like to me, when I go back and watch some of it, I feel like it's more exciting.
Okay, we'll take our next question from Tucker.
Tucker White, SpeedwayMedia.com. Matt, with the two races we've had with this lower downforce package, we've run them at tracks with a less abrasive surface. Wouldn't it be in the interest of the drivers for the NASCAR to add another race with it at a track with a more abrasive surface like Darlington?
Again, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I just try to let them make the rules what they think is best and just try to figure out how to make it work for us. So certainly coming to a repave, this place is a little bit probably all by itself this year. I don't think we'll go to another track that's really like this because of the new pavement and the tire combination and everything that we have. So I don't know that it's the best place maybe just to judge the aero package. I think Michigan's a pretty good judge. I mean, there's only one race on it, but that place is starting to wear in a little bit. They've been able to bring a little bit softer tire. The groove has been widening out because it's been a few years since the repave. So I mean, I think that's I think it's our fastest top speed track we go to. I mean, I think that's a pretty good place to evaluate it.
Okay, we'll take our next question right here and then back up to PRN.
Matt, with this being such a new surface and a repave, do you think it's going to be possible to have multiple racing grooves tomorrow night? And also, there's been some guys that have been really successful. I mean, you won here several years ago, Keselowski, Busch. Does it level the playing field at all?
Well, it's a totally different racetrack for sure. I'd say it's basically like starting over. I mean, there's some of the characteristics that are the same, but it's kind of like starting over. But it almost is every year, honestly, with the rules changes, the development all the teams make with the cars, the tire changes, all those things. There are a lot of variables that change it each and every time you come back, especially at tracks like this. You only come to once a year. I think the track's going to widen out a little bit. I think it's going to be wider than a lot of the repaves in the past that we had. It seemed like the limited practice we had yesterday, it wasn't quite like a typical repave in the sense that, when they did Kansas, Michigan, some of those places, you never had to put tires on. Every lap was faster. If you ran a 20-lap run, your 20-lap was the fastest. And from the limited practice and the cars I looked at yesterday, it didn't seem like that was the case. It seemed like there was actually some fall off, which is really not typical. So having that, always, I think, induces more passing, if somebody has better tires than the next guy. And hopefully that'll widen the groove a little bit as well.
Okay, next question.
Mark Garrow, PRN. Matt, at this point, we've got 11 different winners. We're getting close to the end of the regular season. Do you see that becoming 12, 13, 14? Do you see anybody out there that could potentially add to that list, or are these 11 guys just going to divvy up the rest of them?
I certainly can't predict what's going to happen in these races. There's certainly way more than 11 cars, teams, and drivers out there that are capable of winning races if everything goes right on any given day. So certainly there's a lot of people out there that don't have a win this year that are plenty capable and could get a win before the chase starts. But that's pretty hard for me to predict.
Do you consider this a wild card race because of the repay, or somebody different could jump out of there?
You never know. I think that in a way every week is a little bit of a wild card. You never know what's going to happen. I think it's it's really competitive right now. All the cars are very, very close to the same speed. They have been for several years, but when you look down the lap times, they all go. The spread keeps getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So a lot of good cars and good teams that haven't won yet that easily could win. You could have 16 by the time it's over. You don't know. Yes and no. It's going to be a little different. I think that, it might open up opportunities, but it feels like more weeks than not you're racing the same guys if you're going to have a shot to win.
Okay, go to Jerry.
Jerry Jordan, former Station Network, Kicking the Tires. It's a kind of a non-racing question, but you've been around this sport for a long time, and you've seen, fans, security, things of that nature. With what's going on, last week we saw a huge security increase in Daytona. Also here, what happened last night in Dallas. Do you worry about, from a safety perspective, with your families and all of us being here at the tracks each week? Does that ever? How do you weigh that when you guys are doing what you do out on the track?
Honestly, I've never spent a lot of time worrying about that. I don't do the best job at it because we all worry about things we can't control at times, but I try not to spend a lot of time worrying about things that I don't have any or much control over. You hope nothing like that ever happens at the racetrack. You hope it never happens anywhere, really. But yeah, it's been it's around the globe, not just here, but it's been kind of a scary time with all the shootings and things like that for sure. But I have not really spent any time, thinking about that at the racetrack or whatever. Probably spent more time thinking about, where it's happening and what's going on and why and how do we fix it.
Take our next question from the back.
Alicia Hughes with the Herald Leader. Matt, you are the only guy not named Kyle or Brad to actually win the Cup race here in its short history, and I believe you've got the second best average finish of any driver. What are some of the intangibles about your style and your team that have made you guys so good at this track?
Well, for me, driving for JGR obviously is a big advantage. All our cars, including, Martin, have been really fast. We were off yesterday, but the other four guys were first through fourth on the speed chart again. So obviously everybody at JGR is doing their homework, and at TRD is making good power, and the cars are really fast. So it doesn't take long to learn that you can't run up front or win without fast race cars. So it all starts with that. So our cars have been running fast here last year and this year, as well. So I think that's where it starts.